Hi, welcome to Midlife Crises, the channel where you learn how to own, manage, and rent a beach house investment property. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about home insurance. I had a real rough time in the beginning uh, trying to find home insurance coverage. What I learned was that beach house property is exotic. You have very few companies that will cover a beach house. uh, you've got all your Allstates, your Progressives. They will cover beach houses, but the in Virginia Beach, the rule is that you have to have $1 million worth of liability coverage in order to rent your house. So your Progressives and your Allstates will cover, but most of the time they won't meet the $1 million liability threshold, or if they do, their premium is exorbitant, very, very high. So, uh, right in the beginning, I was given the names of a couple of insurance companies, and these guys kind of they've cornered the market. So I asked them for coverage, and they quoted me about, like, right in the beginning, it was like 5,500, and they were like, "Take it or leave it. This is how much it costs." And I wanted to dig more into that because I wasn't satisfied. It didn't make sense to me. So after calling a bunch of realtors, different property management companies, just talking to a lot of folk, one thing I realized was I needed to get an insurance agent, because insurance agents, this is what they do for a living. They know all the insurance companies out there and the different rates, and they know other insurance companies that I've not even heard of. So I'm going to go through this. So this is an actual PowerPoint presentation that my insurance agent sent me. I've changed some of the numbers over here, so that I want to keep this pretty anonymous, and I've taken out the names of the insurance providers. But I want to walk you through what he sent me. So in this column, this first column here, is what through my research, I found the lowest that I could find. So initially it was 5,500, and then I found, after talking to other companies, the lowest I could find was around 3,700, 3,800, and so they would insure the dwelling for 535,000. They had the $1 million liability, and the deductible was 5,000. And then they had wind and hail. I'll talk about this in a minute because this is important. Anyway, so he sent me this rate table, and then he gave me, through his research, he found another provider that could do it better. And this is so these three columns over here, 2A, 2B, 2C, is that same insurance provider with just eliminating some coverage to reduce my premium. The premium here is at the bottom. So in this insurance provider is only 2,500 deductible, a little bit less on other structures and all that, but they seem to be doing a much better premium. Here's the part about the wind deductible that I learned. When I saw this initially, I thought, oh, so this one is 5,350 for all wind and hail versus 5,350 for named storm only. And I'm thinking this provider one, does a better job. But how he explained it was, only a named storm is when you have to pay your 5,350 with this insurance provider too. Otherwise, if it's just regular wind or hail, then you only have to pay $2,500. So this is a better deal. And when he explained that, I was like, oh, okay, that does make sense. Now the main thing about the one key point that this insurance agent told me, which none of these other insurance companies would tell me about, is that I could actually transfer, if I got $1 million liability coverage on my primary residence, I can bridge that over to the beach house. None of the other companies would tell me that, because they could just rake it in, just tell me, oh, you have to pay $5,500 or $3,800 or whatever. So in this option here, if I was to exclude this $1 million coverage, they would insure the property for this amount, around $2,750, but I would have to change my primary insurance provider on the insurance provider on my primary residence. So they took down all the information on my old insurance provider. This is what I was paying on my primary residence, 3.5 hours away. So, and he was able to find a new insurance provider, very well known. I didn't know about them, but they're really well known. They're all over the States. And he found that this insurance provider was able to do this $1 million liability coverage and save me so much money compared to this old insurance provider. And I got better coverage too, for the contents. Everything is better. But here's the kicker. The kicker is that if I pick this new insurance provider, I would have to change my auto coverage as well. So this new insurance provider would cover at my primary residence not only my house, but also my auto coverage. Now my old insurance provider, I don't remember how much I was spending, but it was lower than the new coverage. But I'm getting more coverage. And after seeing all this spelt out, this is for 4 vehicles and 3 drivers. After seeing all this spelt out, the difference between what I was paying before in auto coverage versus now what I'm paying with the new home insurance, not only I'm actually saving money in per year, and I get to extend this $1 million liability insurance over to the beach property. These are tools and tricks that I would have never figured out myself. I mean, who am I? I just bought a house. I don't know what I'm doing. So the key part is get an insurance agent if you're trying to get a beach house. And these insurance agents, they know the area and they know which insurance companies are covering what types of property and all of that. The other key thing that he told me was, because I needed to get flood insurance, he said you need to get an elevation certificate. How would I know what that is? But an elevation certificate tells you how high your property is off sea level. If you get a survey company to do an elevation, to do the drawings on an elevation certificate, and you can provide that to a flood insurance company, that reduces your premium drastically if you don't have one, because that's proof to the insurance company that, hey, this is how high your house is off sea level in case a flood does happen. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you, and this is just some of my knowledge and experience that I had to go through since I bought this beach house. So thank you for tuning in.